Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Swish Life Garage. Boy KT as always, mate. Alright guys, today I am actually going to be working on the Del Sol. I know a lot of you guys been waiting for this video, as well as I've been waiting to work on this car, man. If you guys been watching my previous videos, I have been putting a lot of work into the truck just because it's more of a priority. That's more of my daily that I use. But now that has slowed down, so now I could afford to put some funds to some of the other projects and some of the time to some of the other projects. So first up is I do want to work on the Del Sol. If you guys remember, I did take out the D16 Z6 using a vane engine stand, and so that is good to go. Now I need to make sure that the body of the car is straight. If you guys remember, the front end did look like it had a front end impact, so I need to make sure that is good to go. I do know the front radiator support is bent. I do need to take that off, and of course I did buy the JDM front end, which does have a radiator support on there as well. So hopefully that is all straight and we could just swap out the front radiator support, possibly a few other parts, and we should have a good solid base to work on, and then I can start working on the motor as well. Now you guys know me, I already have a lot of plans for the front end of the Del Sol, so make sure you are subscribed and have your bell notifications turned on so you'll be notified when I post those videos. Of course, I do have some other projects as well that you guys can look forward to. Before we start the beginning of this video, I want to let you know down below in the description box you can find my social media as well as my online website if you want to purchase some merchandise. So hopefully you guys can take a look through there and purchase if you like, and also you can message me if you have any questions or some custom decals made. But without taking any more time, let's go ahead and get right into the video. Okay guys, so here we are. The Del Sol. Need to go ahead and start working on this front end. I need to take off the front radiator support, and that is going to be done taking off these spot welds. There's probably going to be a lot of them, and just gotta take it off. Of course I do gotta take off the headlights, the fenders, the little stuff here and there, the cooler for the power steering, the lines for the AC, all that good stuff. Then we'll get started on drilling out the spot welds. That's going to take a little bit of time. Engine bay looking a bit nasty, but you know, I've seen worse, not too bad. I'm going to get started on that right now. Shouldn't be too hard. Let's get at it. I got everything off of this core support, and now it's ready to go ahead and start working on it, take off the spot welds and get this thing completely off of here. You guys could tell it's been in some sort of accident, and they try to like beat it straight. See, and then here it just doesn't really look that good at all. And even also right here, this is probably the worst fitting area. But you can see the core support, and then it looks like they grabbed a top section of a core support and just try to like drill it onto there. And see, it's just like held on by screws. There were screws in here as well. I actually took them out, but you could see right here they have a screw, and then they did have two other screws in here also, but I did take those out because again, we're going to be taking this completely off, and that's kind of like sandwiching it together. So now on how I'm going to be taking this off, they do sell drill bits for this job. It has like a center punch, and then it has the teeth on there to take out that spot weld. So in order to make sure it's straight though, because you don't want that thing just kind of like traveling around just kind of off center, and then you don't get the spot weld completely center, this is a punch. A center punch. Basically you put it exactly in the middle, and then you push it all the way, and then it's gonna indent right in the center, or wherever you put it, hopefully the center. And what that does is now I have a center point to put the drill on, and it won't just kind of wander around. I'm gonna have to do that on all the spot welds, get them completely out. On these drill bits, it does come with another bit on there. This is a used one, and then I broke the other side, so you could just reverse them, flip them around. But let me get started on this. This is going to take quite a while. So I do have some oil over here, which will help aid in the cutting and the heat process. So you want to make sure you put oil on there, and it's going to cut a lot better with the oil. Okay, so I was gonna get started on drilling, but then I decided it might as well just take off the top section. So it came completely off, just taking a few screws. And so that's how it looks. So they try to do a cheap little repair. I mean, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do with what you have, right? But I mean, I'm going to just take the rest of this off, and then hopefully we get some good measurements here. Alright guys, so I got the front radiator support completely off. You could see the spot welds I had to take off. This one actually came off on its own. And then you see all the other spot welds I had to get to. And then on this other side also, we have some friends here. Don't worry guys, I'll make sure they have a proper burial. You see all the spot welds on there also. So here is the radiator support right here. The only good section on this would actually be the crossbar right here for the radiator. And so that is actually pretty straight, but the rest is all crumpled up, and they just try to bend it back together. Actually might need to use that lower cross section, because on the JDM one it looks like they try to jack it up from there and bent it. I would like to have it nice and straight. The sheet metal over here next to the headlights looked like it was crumpled before. The rails look pretty good. I still got to measure it to be sure exactly, but you see the sheet metal also on there. So I'm not really worried about the sheet metal. The rails is really what's going to count here. Okay, so it's the next morning. I did manage to take off the lower section of the core support because I am going to need that here, but I'll show you that later. So it was just like 4 additional spot welds I had to take off, and that came completely off. Here's the JDM front end, what I was talking about. Looks like they try to like jack it up or something, and then it just kind of unspot welded by itself right there. I need to take everything off. It has been sitting for quite a while. I'm gonna get the condenser off, the radiator, all the little bit of wiring, and then we'll start on the spot welds on this one too. Finally finished here with the spot welds. I did take off the lower section as well, so I have everything as it should be. Probably later on everything is going to be bolt on. Imagine if you're able to take this on and off as you please, so the motor would just come in and out, especially with the vane engine stand. It'll just work very nice and easy, so you could do it in your own driveway or in your backyard here. But now right here I just have the extra parts that I'm not using, or you know, I gotta decide what I'm gonna use and what not I'm gonna use. Everything I'm actually gonna be posting on my eBay. Whatever I don't use, I'm gonna be posting it on my eBay, so I recommend for you guys to go ahead and follow my eBay account. So now what I need to do is I need to make sure the frame rails are straight. As long as the frame rails are straight, we're good to go. I just gotta take care of the crumpled zones, and those are, I'm not really worried about. I have a plan for those. So let me find the measurements for the frame here and what it should be. Here is a factory service manual. You could go ahead and pick one of these up off of eBay, or I think probably online. You could probably get a digital download. But here's the frame repair chart. And then it's in millimeters, inches, and then it gives us all the reference point on what the measurements should be. So I'm just going to be taking a look at this. I do have a tape measure right here, and just try to see if the frame is straight for the most part, and see if it has to be tweaked in any sort of way. There is other measurements on here if you guys do need them. But these are the main measurements that you will need in case of an accident or whatever. So let me go ahead and get started on this, and we'll see if everything aligns. I did as much measurements as I felt like I could have done. I did measure from the middle of the frame rails to each frame rail, and it was within the spec. And I also did the up and down to make sure, you know, if it gets hit, sometimes they'll bend upwards or downwards. And the measurements seem to come back right to spec. I don't believe these frame rails are bent in any sort of way, but like I said, I do have this sheet metal right here. But to me, that's not going to be an issue. I could go ahead and take care of that. And now I do have the front core support. So it's looking like a go here with the Del Sol. And so we could start moving forward with it. It's going to get pretty exciting because we're going to get a lot of modifications, a lot of restoration, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to learn a lot of stuff along the way. Alright guys, so there we have it. Took off the radiator support on the Del Sol, and as well made sure the frame is straight so we have a solid car to work on. I want you to drop a comment down below on what you guys think of the Del Sol, and possibly any recommendations on some modifications or changes I can make to it in the future. I'm pretty excited guys, because the Del Sol always been one of my favorite Hondas. It's unique, it's different, it's like a go-kart. It's just all around fun to drive. It really feels good to be working on it again, a little bit change of scenery instead of working on the truck. A lot of these times, to be honest, I kind of get bored of working on the same car for quite a while, and so that's the reason why I like to switch it up. But I am pretty prepared to throw a lot of work into this Del Sol, and just try to juggle some of the projects along the way. But of course guys, just bear with me. You know, this all takes money and time, and I wish I had all the money and time. But alright guys, that is going to be it for now for this video. Hopefully you liked it and you learned a thing or two that you can use in the future. Let me know if you guys do have any questions. You can always hit me up on my social media. As well, drop a comment down below and make sure you are subscribed. But alright guys, I'm going to have to catch you on the next one, players.